I hope you're paying attention. Ethan is doing the right thing for little Ethan, even if it means going against you.
Well, the child psychologist...
Oh, please, Gwen. Nobody reputable would force a child to be sent away from his family right after he lost his mother. You just don't want him around because he reminds Ethan of Teresa. But you have failed, and you will continue to fail. Teresa will always be in Ethan's heart. Always.
I hope you're right, because I can't lose him again.
Maybe you should give up your plans of a life with Ethan altogether, because you will never be able to compete with Teresa's spirit. Ever.
Ethan, we spoke about this in great detail, remember?
I know we did.
You know, little Ethan, we really only want what's best for you. And a very, very good doctor thinks that going to boarding school will open up a whole new world of opportunities for you. And you agreed with him and me.
Gwen, I know, but that was then and this is now. And I didn't realize how unhappy it was going to make him. I'm not sure it's the right thing to do anymore.
Hi. Sorry to interrupt, but has anyone seen Luis?
I saw Luis rushing out of here earlier.
Well, where did he go?
Went to the hospital. He didn't say why.
He didn't say a word to me.
Oh, Fancy, frankly, he seemed pretty upset about something.
I'll bet I know why. Okay, thanks.
Hey, Fancy. Thanks for the new chemistry set that you bought me.
Oh, I'm glad you like it. They're hard to find nowadays, but I remember how much my brother Fox liked his. Anyway, bye all.
Hey, be careful with that chemistry set, okay? If I recall, Fox, he blew up the gardening shed and almost burned down the stables.
That's funny.
It's funny, but it's not. What if some horses had been hurt, right?
All right, I'll be careful. I'll go get it right now.
Ethan, I think we need to get back on track here. You know, you need to remember what the child psychologist said, that we need to do the responsible thing because obviously little Ethan isn't going to want to go away, right? We know child wants to in the beginning, but if we want him to grow up to be emotionally stable, then we have to send him to boarding school. It's the only way he's going to learn a sense of independence.
He was pretty convincing.
Ethan, my grandson needs to stay here.
Pilar, Ethan just wants to do what's best for the boy, okay?
His name is Little Ethan.
Now, I know you want to do what's best for him, right?
I always want what's best for the children. You know that. But sometimes you just have to go with your gut instinct, Gwen.
Well, Ethan, not this time. Okay, listen, this is a really unusual situation. We need to rely on the advice of professionals. Little Ethan just lost his mother.
I know. And he was just as devastated as I am. But all of a sudden, he seems perfectly okay with it. You know, he even made a joke about sharks yesterday.
Because he knows I'm alive. All right, doesn't that worry you a little bit? I mean, he's obviously hiding his grief, which, you know, that could be a major psychological problem. So we need to listen to the psychologist. We need to send him to boarding school. I think we should call the school right now and make arrangements.
Look, I don't know who this psychologist is, but I do know children. How can either of you possibly think that it's a good idea to send little Ethan away? I heard him make those remarks about the sharks. I just think it means he's confused. At a time like this, little Ethan needs to be surrounded by the people that love him. Sending him away, it's not a solution, not if you want him to grow up emotionally stable.
There's enough stuff in here to blow up the whole town.
Oh, well, I don't want you playing with that chemistry set unsupervised. Are we clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Winthrop, I have to agree with Mrs. Lopez Fitzgerald. I mean, I've worked for so many families, and, well, whenever there's a crisis, the best place for a child to be is at home.
Well, Gertrude, thank you so much for your opinion, but yeah, it's really not your decision. Ethan, as parents, we are the ones we need to sometimes make the tough decisions.
Gwen, I do want to do what's best for little Ethan in the long run.
Oh, well, that's easy. Just look into little Ethan's eyes. He wants to be with you. Boarding school? Oh, my. Well, that is ridiculous. I mean, can you really bear it? To send away a child after losing his mother? Huh.
Ethan, look.
Gwen, I think you've said enough.
Look, I know that you are going to do the right thing. Because I know you love little Ethan just like I do.
Don't make me gag.
And besides, we don't need to make this decision right now. We can think about it, and then we can do what the psychologist advised.
I don't know.
Okay. So, little Ethan, that is quite a chemistry set. I mean, Fancy went all out.
It's all right.
You know what? They have a pretty amazing chem lab at the boarding school, and lots of really famous scientists went there when they were young. It's kind of cool.
I already know a lot about chemistry.
Well, they have a pool and a lake there. You might really like it. Okay, we can just talk about that later. Whew, my goodness, there's so many little tubes here. What is that one?
Poison.
Oh. So, Gertrude, from now on, if I were you, I would keep my opinions to myself. And I would also reconsider whose side I was on.
Oh, I know whose side I'm on. The children's.
Oh, then remember who does the hiring and firing around here, okay? So, I will see you all later. I will do whatever I have to do to convince Ethan to send little Ethan away to boarding school. Right now, I'm relaxing, so I will talk to you later. I could soak in here all day. Is someone there? Is someone there? Is that little Ethan? Oh, I'm gonna call him little pervert from now on. Should have totally locked the door. Well, whatever.
Poor Gwen. She gets out of that bathtub. I bet she'll feel really blue.
Now, believe me, I know Gwen's heart is in the right place, but I am not going to give in. I'm not going to send little Ethan to boarding school, no matter what that psychologist says, okay?
Oh, that's a very wise decision, Mr. Winthrop.
Thank you, Ethan. You made me very happy.
Thanks, Dad.
Little Ethan might decide later on that he wants to go to boarding school on his own instead of normal high school. I mean, I didn't like it when I was his age, but when I was 13... God! That's Gwen. What's going on?
The mad scientist strikes again.
Well, what could be wrong? Look at me.
Oh, my God.
What happened to you?
Help me, Papa Smurf, help me. I better get out of here.
What happened to me? Oh, I'll tell you what happened to me. Little Ethan happened to me. I'll tell you what, the kid is going to school in Siberia.
Oh.